What's up, guys? We're here. Tori's on the phone.
Sorry. Hi, y'all. I feel like I'm being kicked out and you're taking over.
Oh.
Yeah, move over.
Well, at least I'm not on my phone.
Great start, you guys.
Hey, everyone. So welcome to Break Room.
Bickering. What every audience wants.
That's all we all want. Welcome to Tori Shulman and Al Jackson. We're here every day, 9:30 during the week to Mountain Time to give you guys what's going on in the daytime and our views so you guys can get your mind boiling. What do you call it? Simmering.
Black people say getting your mind right.
Is that right?
Yes.
Jewish people say, get it together.
Oh, I like that.
I think a lot of people say that.
Yes.
Anywho, cool suit, Al. Lovely dress, Tori.
you.
Thank you so much. It's actually a top, and if you can show, Kelly has a daily thing of showing what I wear underneath the table.
What is it?
Glamour behind.
What is it?
Yep.
Well, I mean, I would make the argument on behalf of women that your clothing is a lot less comfortable than men's clothing.
It is awful.
So, like, just wait until the last minute, put
That's
your
what I
shoes
do.
on.
I wait until the last second.
Yes.
And just like, nice boots, third grader. I'm like, okay. Anywho, guys, so we have an amazing
She's bullying
deal we want.
herself.
I know. It's become so innate in me. So we have a tentative deal, guys, breached to stop the government from shutting down on Friday, which is always a plus. So let me give you guys a little bit of a breakdown, just so you know. We're going to do, I'm the House, he's the Senate. Kelly, come here really quick. Kelly's the president. If this passes, just in case you don't know, and that's fine, we have no judgment here. The House has put it together. The Senate has to say yes. But then it goes to the White House. And the White House can either do two things. They can what? They can sign it or veto. So that's up to the president. So right now, these two have made it already to step one. We're going to wait on what Trump has to say, okay? So that's where we are right now. There's not much information, but we got an agreement. They said, quote, on all of it. It's unclear. We think it's about $1.3 billion for barriers, which is what was already on the table previously. And it's Mark Meadows of North Carolina and Jim Jordan are trashing it, though, some of his closest allies. So some people who are Trump's allies are saying, don't take the deal. So they're saying veto, veto, veto. So we want to know what you guys think. Should he sign it just so people have paychecks? And then what do you think about this? Conservative sources say President Trump will most likely accept the agreement and then use executive action to fund the wall.
Well, I mean, I want the government to work. We're now at a place in history where we're clapping when the government decides not to close down.
I know.
I just, this is beyond politics. I've seen this affect people that I care about. I've seen this affect TSA workers because I'm at the airport every weekend. Kill me. And so, like, I've seen this, it's playing out in real life. A lot of times, let's be honest, politics at the highest level don't really affect your real life. But this did. Yeah. And I think that Trump's people, for as much as he doesn't want to look weak on the wall, knows that a lot of his base was really hurt by this, and it doesn't look good when people from the Coast Guard aren't getting paid, when government workers aren't getting paid.
It's not a good look.
It's not a good look.
Yeah.
So he's between a wall and a hard place.
Good
Hello.
Hello, ladies. Very nicely said. Just so you guys know, I watched the entire El Paso Trump address. He had a rally in El Paso, which is interesting because, did you know, Hillary won by like 30 points in El Paso, Texas. It was like an enormously large thing. So it was interesting he picked El Paso. But the build a wall is now, I thought a build a bear.
Yes.
Build a wall is now finish the wall. So he's changed the slogan to finish the wall and was rallying up the base right next door, literally 0.2 miles away, across a parking lot. One Beto O'Rourke decided to hold a counter rally. Now, again, he has not said he's running for president. He is someone that ran for Senate in Texas and didn't win, but he was rousingly loved by all, kind of a cool guy. He skateboarded into the rallies. He's really strong. And he simply said, walls kill people. And then on the other side, 0.2 miles away, Trump is saying walls save lives. So it is a direct rivalry, and I wonder if we're getting a little bit of a preview of 2020, because the only candidate that Trump brought up to talk about was Beto, and he hasn't even said he's running. So I wonder if we're seeing a little back and forth here, and he took it to Texas to be 0.2 miles away from Trump.
I just think it's so interesting that we're still talking about walls in 2019.
I know.
But we're not talking about tunnels. Remember those things? El Chapo used one time to get out of jail, and
Twice.
It was a mile long.
Twice. And they both had air conditioning in them.
Guys, there are hundreds and thousands of tunnels going underneath the wall. They are ventilated. They have electricity. They have machines to move things back and forth. Do you think like a wall is going to stop drug dealers? Most of the drugs that come in here either come through planes. You know, these cartels sometimes get planes, 727s, that 737s.
I'm watching Narcos right now.
Yes, that are on their last leg.
Cessnas.
That just need. It's not even a Cessna. They'll just get like an old plane from United Airways or Mexicana Airlines that only has maybe 1 or 2 flights left in it, and just like literally use it as a one-stop shop and just bring a bunch of drugs in. There are things called ramps. They figured out everything.
That's
There is
crazy.
now there's now equipment that you can just park a ramp. It's really what you did in the 3rd grade in your mom's driveway. Yeah, cartel people are hip to that too. There's also things called boats. Oh no. There's a couple different kinds of ways to get drugs in here. There's something that's called drug torpedoes. And when you use a large boat, what they do is
Al knows a lot about drugs.
they drag behind the boat on a large cable. And I know you go, well, that's a big boat. We can see it. Yes, you can. So I guess you won. No, you didn't, because guess what? The cartels can then cut those cables, leave those floating torpedoes filled with drugs in the middle of the water with homing devices, so the boat will check out to be clean upon inspection, and then when the inspectors leave, they go back with the homing device and get the drugs and bring it back.
Thanks, Al, or should I call you Pablo
So,
Escobar?
guys, and there's also things, there's drones. There's also catapults. There's also...
Is there really?
Yes, they use catapults to get it over. There's also really just makeshift T-shirt cannons. So if you've ever been to an NBA halftime...
Who wants a T-shirt?
If you've been to an NBA halftime, you know how to defeat the wall. That's how ridiculous this conversation is. What do you think? The cartel sees a wall and they're like, oh, that's
I'm out. I
the
can't.
end of
I'm
$100 billion
done.
business. They have a wall here.
That's true. How can we get past this?
Yeah,
So
so-
I also think heat radiation,
But
heat
enjoy your wall.
sensors, yeah, and also drones. More technologically based wall would be more appropriate for me, just so you know, heat censoring, so you could sense tunnels, things like that. So a lot of people writing in right now about the crowd size. Yes, he mentioned it over and over and over again. And again, it didn't add up to the fact checking. It's not that I'm mad that he does this. I find it compulsive. We know it's not true, and yet you continually do it. Bizarre to me. Don't get it. Don't understand it. Never will. Think it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
It's not about lifting your loved one up. Okay, so I think we're reading something else. So that was Fifth Host. That's it. So we're going to move on to Fifth Host because I was like, what are you guys talking about? Do you guys think, this is all about the Love Day, Valentine's Day, do you think men should spend more money on Valentine's Day than women? A new survey from Bank Rate shows that consumers spend an average of, you want to guess?
$688.
Who are you, moneybags? $267 on their partners for the Hallmark holiday. In the survey, it showed that males spend $339 though on partners, and women will spend about $64. So, that is a big difference, isn't it?
Yes.
So, is it fair that men spend more? Thoughts, Pablo Escobar?
Well, it's just the way that we've made this human mating ritual. The man is the pursuer in most cases, and so the showing large gestures of love tend to work better, and the bigger the better. A dozen roses is great. A dozen roses is better. Now, not for me, but unfortunately, that's kind of how we look at how somebody values you, is how far they go out. Because let's be honest, a lot of people like to brag, oh, you'll never believe what Brooks did. He hired a singing mariachi band. Like all these things. And then so you hear that, and then you're like, well, I hope my husband does more than that. And it's a one-upsmanship.
It's a comparative thing. And social media doesn't help because you're seeing it all.
So you're seeing it.
A lot of you guys writing in saying, I don't need anything. I'm a woman. Monet Doyle from Facebook. I'm a woman. I don't need flowers, balloons. Buy me some chocolate. Take me to Barnes & Noble and I'm happy. Monet, do you want to hang out later? Because I really like you. Also, Corinthia. Valentine's Day is a sham.
Great name.
Corinthia? It does sound regal, doesn't it?
It sounds,
Corinthians.
It sounds
biblical
religious.
almost. Yeah. Tanya Brown, I think you should spend what you can afford. A $1 card, a $1 box of chocolates is just as good.
All right, let's slow down on the $1 chocolates. Let's get crazy and have $3 chocolates.
Slow down.
$1 chocolate, I think you're going to be spending the rest of your Valentine's in the urgent care.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. What's in there? Bobby Redis, I expect nothing. It's a woman's holiday.
Oh, I don't know about a woman's holiday. I think it is.
Bobby.
I do, for as much as I don't like contrived holidays. I will say this.
Name one other contrived holiday. Everyone says that.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay, that's fair. Valid. Okay,
yes, I mean, there are holidays that are just kind of meant to, that we kind of created.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think it's good.
I think it's fine. I think
it's
it is
fine.
something
I really
to look forward
do.
to, and for as much as I am very forward thinking, I kind of embrace traditionalism. I don't mind a traditional wedding, and
So would you want to spend more than your lady, or should you spend equal, or like is that the tradition for you?
I don't want us to be thinking about what the other one is spending.
Yeah.
I mean I know that that's part of it. I think more than anything, when you start getting into what you're spending and all these elaborate plans, I feel like it takes away from it.
Yeah.
It really does. If you have a reservation on Valentine's Day, you walk in that restaurant, and you might as well go into like a Greyhound bus station on Christmas Eve. It's packed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tension and stress.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like necessarily
The most romantic setting.
Romantic.
Yes, that's true.
It
is a lot of stress, isn't it? Because you don't know if
it is romantic, you think?
Someone cooks for you. That's way
Yeah, I would just think.
So maybe doing something for someone is nice. Elizabeth Waldo, I wait until the next day when everything is half priced,
Thank you.
and then I load up for the kiddos. This is a practical woman here. John Venturini, spend what you think is appropriate. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. None of you are saying men or women should spend more. All of you are saying you don't think that it needs to be a big holiday.
I think that's
But I'm
cool.
wondering if that's true on February 14th.
And also,
Do you know what I'm saying?
a lot of it isn't what you think; it's what your partner thinks. And if you go, "Hey, honey, I made you this arts and crafts project," she's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, this is 40 cents. What's the rest, buddy?"
Thanks for your popsicle stick and glue.
Yeah. So I mean, but I think for me, if somebody got me something that was very personal to me,
Yeah.
that didn't cost like let's
See,
say
I think that's the
let's say
best.
they went back and got a Matchbox from the first
Right.
comedy club
That's
I
it.
performed at. That would mean a lot more
Yeah.
than waiting three
I
and a half hours
completely
for
agree.
something. So I kind of think that it's the sentiment that means more.
And be creative, thinking outside the box. My first Valentine's Day, Brooks had taken me to a game, and Wharton was playing. My friend was playing soccer at Wharton, and I made a sign, and I made a big G and a big O for Go Wharton, and hadn't, of course, thought about the size of the paper. So by the end, it was like Wharton, and I couldn't even fit it. And Brooks thought it was a perfect definition of who I am as a person. I start big,
Yeah.
and then I don't know where I'm finishing. So we framed it, this cool thing in this great big frame, and it cost him what, like $100? But it was so thoughtful of him to do that really meant more. So you're right,
And
be
it's
creative.
interesting that that's the first thing you brought up,
Yeah.
rather than like, oh, our second Valentine's Day we went to a steakhouse. It was
Yeah.
like $500. Everybody's like boring. But
Yeah.
now
Benihana's
I
is
want to
fun.
see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Benihana's I love on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, you have to throw your clothes away though. That
It
stuff
smells.
gets in your.
It is
oh my
in your
gosh.
soul, isn't it?
It's really in your.
Those
skin.
onion volcanoes with the steam comes out. You're like, woo! Wait, did you tell me someone didn't know it was a Benihana's? Tell that story really quick.
A buddy of mine told a story on a podcast where he said he went to Vegas with his then girlfriend, now wife's, like some of her brothers. And he said that one of his friends got hammered within 30 minutes of being in Vegas, and they went to Benihana, and he didn't understand that the cooks kind of
Talk to
rib
you.
you a little bit and jab. And so the guy, it's 6 guys at the table, and the cook's like, oh yeah, 6 guys, no ladies, yeah, big ladies man. And he said the guy goes, shut up and cook. And he said he was like, oh my god, it's like, hey.
It's Benihana's, dude.
like,
That's the whole idea
shut
of the
up
joint.
and cook.
That's opposite of what we want from a
Yes.
Benihana's cook. We want to see the shrimp go in the hat.
Yes.
So in other news, guys,
We do.
Of course we do. Lolo Jones, who I actually didn't know about until Celebrity Big Brother, came out kind of big. Said
She's in the Olympic story.
Okay, I'm sorry. Name another. What sport is she, Al?
She's a hurdler.
Is
Wow.
she? Is she?
Yeah, she is.
It's a bobsledder.
No, she took up bobsledding because she was getting her ass handed to
No.
her in the hurdles.
Okay, so she is too.
Thank you.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, whenever
So-
you're getting killed every year, you're
Try a
like,
different one.
Maybe I can just lay down and get a medal.
This is better than running. That's very true. It's better than running. All right, she talked to Tamar Braxton. She's head of household, and she said, at 36, I'm still a virgin. And this has sort of been the year of the virgin, hasn't it? We've seen Colton Underwood from The Bachelor
And that's
admit
where the
it.
list ends.
And that's it. So he has a lot to say about this, but I just want to let you know. She says it's hard because she wanted to wait, but now she's waited so very long. It's sort of become a different thing, and now it's sort of this long wait that she's anticipated. So she said she's confirmed that she is waiting until marriage. She said she had to end a lot of relationships and her heart was broken a lot because she said, I'm not willing to go there. So we want to know what you think about this, DBL Nation. Do you think this is honest, open, the new trend? Is this something, and do you think that at some point after you've passed a certain amount of time, should you just, I don't mean to say be gauche, but should you sort of have sex just so it's not the thing you can't stop thinking about?
I think so, because honestly, it becomes bigger than the relationship. And I would think if some man that she was dating was really into her, and eventually was like, hey, we've been at this a year and a half, I'm trying to be faithful, but I need to have some kind of sexual relationship with you as well, I think that she may have lost out on the love of her life over a physical act. I understand it's the act of love, but let's be honest. Like, this is 2019. A lot of people are sexually active and are sexually active before they meet the person they're going to be with. Does that mean that they're tainted or stained?
No.
Sex is a big part of your relationship.
It
you
is.
better be sure that you're compatible with each other, because once the rings are on the fingers and then you guys get to the business, you're like, oh, this is not good at all.
Right.
Well, now you're kind of trapped. I mean, I don't think, would we be talking about the same thing if they said, if Lolo Jones said, I'm waiting until marriage to talk about religion or finances?
Yeah.
That would be insane. It's something that you're planning on doing with one person for the rest of eternity. You better be sure sexually compatible, emotionally, ideologically, and religiosity. There's a word that I just made up.
I say money, religion, and sex, those three.
Right.
So here's the deal, though, Al. I always take the other side so we can at least have an open conversation. I'm Lolo Jones. I'm a bobsledder / hurdler. So my problem is I'm religious.
Can you look up and see what the event she did?
It was bobsledder and track and field. You were right.
Perfect.
Also, we have a surprise guest here.
Oh, Ben Higgins,
the
what
room
up,
just got a lot more beautiful.
I didn't know you guys were going to come.
How you doing,
We
man?
were just talking about The Bachelor. Come here, you.
I don't get a hug like that when I
Well,
start.
it's Ben Higgins.
Just reach
Man.
across you there.
Hello.
All right.
Hey.
Ben Higgins from The Bachelor, as you all know. Oh, we're
Yeah.
going to talk about the virgin thing, Kelly
let's-
whispered in an
Well,
awkward way. It's very
Yeah.
true. So we were just talking, Ben, welcome, by the way. Very
Thank you.
excited to
Yeah.
have you.
I feel like he's almost not getting welcomed. He's family now.
He's family.
You're about to just
You know
be
what? We're
like,
in the
go
Olive
back,
Garden.
move.
Your family.
Yes,
Your
yeah.
family. So this is a big deal. You were a bachelor, and I want to know what you think about this. Lolo Jones just came out and said on Celebrity Big Brother, she's an Olympian, of course, that she's 36 and still a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because she wants to save it for marriage. And remember, Colton Underwood is famously now a virgin.
Yeah.
Al thinks those are the only two virgins left on the planet.
I have two friends that waited legitimately.
Wow.
And one is now divorced, but one is super happy with
That's
her husband.
great.
And I remember in high school, because she was super fine, and everybody's like, oh, don't worry. And no,
She's kept it. Good for
She
her.
waited until she was like 34,
Good
35.
for her. So,
Yeah.
Ben, talk to us. Is this a trendy thing? Is this an okay thing? What do you think about this?
Oh, I have a lot of theories.
Okay.
One is if you grew up in a religious household and went to church, the purity movement was massive in our
Yeah.
generation.
They used to
right?
have purity rings, I remember.
purity,
Yes.
purity rings. So that whole kind of movement came through when we were younger and made people, think about sex. I think there's some damage there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also just think people are kind of owning their sexuality more than ever. They're talking about it, they're sharing it, they're saying, men and women both, Colton and then Lolo are both saying, hey, I'm okay admitting I'm a virgin. There's nothing wrong with that. That's who I am. And this is a choice I've made. And so I just think in this generation in general, we're going to start talking about this kind of stuff more, and it's not going to be so taboo. But I do think the purity movement has a lot to do with
That's
it.
I never
Very
thought about that. The
interesting.
kids of that purity movement are now
Now
probably
they-
in their late 20s, early
Yeah.
30s. And Ben, what my thing was this. When you start talking about really honestly committing to somebody for the rest of your life, there's some things that you better damn sure be on the same page about.
Yeah.
How you guys are going to spend your money, what religion you're going to raise your kids,
And sex.
Sex. It's like, look, no one, it's I don't know why it's so uncomfortable in this country. There's a lot of reasons, but I honestly feel that being sexually compatible with your partner and knowing what they like, or saying, hey, I'm really uncomfortable doing this, or once we're together, I'm interested
I'm
in
a
having
kinky
an open
fetish
relationship.
person. I'm not a kinky fetish person. We
that's
should know that before we get married, is what
Right.
you're saying. Because if you're a kinky fetish person and I'm a kinky fetish
Stop
person.
saying kinky fetish
Okay,
person.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I was going to say that at least you're compatible. And if you're
Yeah.
a frugal person and I'm a spender, that's not going to work. So again, if you're very observant in Judaism and very not observant in another, that might not work. So I think those three things, again, you have to be on the same page with.
But let me ask you then, if you are a virgin, this is the only, and I just was with Colton last night. He was here in Denver, and it's conversations we always have. How do you know if you are or not? And so if you're going to, I think this is the one thing that everybody says.
Oh, I see what you're
Shouldn't
saying.
you experiment with your partner before you get married, because you never know what it's going to be
I
like
see.
once
So
you
you're
get
saying
married.
if you're a virgin, how do you know you're a kinky
Yeah.
fetish person? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, that's a great
That's the
a
only
great
one.
point.
That's the only
Because
thing
you-
when it's the confusing for me.
I didn't think about
You
that.
I
know,
didn't think
once
of the
you get
kinky
married.
fetish thing. That's
Yeah.
very,
Because
very
if you might
interesting.
honestly go into a marriage, if I hear that one more time, I'm
Someone said-
I'm walking not even off of this panel, but like outside.
Stop.
Yeah, I
Someone
think
said,
that,
production, please isolate Tori saying kinky fetish.
yeah, I mean, if you are a person that goes into a relationship not knowing what you really want to do, I think a lot of people that start businesses, you might start a business saying, like the person that started like a rideshare business might have said, I want to transport people, and then you go, wait a second, this is kind of saturated, but you know what? Postmates. No one's dropping off food. Maybe I'll do that. So maybe your business partner originally thinks
you didn't
that
think
they're
that
getting
way.
into a car ride, and now you want to do Postmates. It doesn't mean that either person's bad, but
Right.
you didn't know until you were in it.
Interesting.
And it's difficult.
Interesting. That was a great point. We also want to get Benjamin's take on. Did you guys high five?
I was
Oh,
going.
no.
I
I wanted to be
She was
part
just
of it.
so mad she didn't get a high
That's
five.
true.
You don't get any high fives after kinky fetish person.
Okay, the fifth post that we have today is: do you think men, and this is your romantic, should spend more money on Valentine's Day than women?
Oh, I want to hear this.
On average, men spend about $339. Women spend $64.
There's a big discrepancy.
No, you shouldn't have spent. Yes.
You think men should?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Personally, I know that when I've dated somebody and I've had a Valentine, they've appreciated a gift
Yeah.
or celebrating that day more than I do. Honestly, Valentine's Day doesn't affect me at all. It's another day for me.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So if your significant other didn't do anything at all,
I'd be
there's
fine.
nothing you'd
Not a
be okay.
problem.
Okay.
And so, and I don't know if that's common or not, but it kind of feels like a day that you can show somebody you care about them. But I have a really hard time with card holidays. Like
That's
a
what we were
really
just talking
hard
about.
time with those. So for me, I kind of just revolt against Valentine's Day in general.
A lot of guys that I know these days in your age group, and I'm not saying it's bad, have a thing against Valentine's Day because they're like, you're imposing.
No, it's not.
I don't know. They're not like.
It's not
they're
against
not
it. I have an issue
1980s
too
taxi driver,
with being
but-
romantic at the butt of a gun. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's what you revolt
Be nice
against.
today. Like, I don't want
No.
that.
You
guys
I
put-
would rather
yeah.
you come home on March 15th and be like, hey, I've been working on this surprise for you for 6 months. Like,
Yeah.
that means more than like, oh God, I gotta get Ben. What is he like? He likes
So when
fish.
did
We gotta go.
Valentine's Day start to go from here to that? Because that's all I hear every Valentine's Day is it's they're putting a gun in my head. What do I need? Flowers, chocolates. I'm like, when did it go from there to there? Was it overexposed? Is it the Amy Schumer of holidays?
Oh wow! Don't take
Oh,
shots at my
geez.
girl.
I love Amy Schumer.
Oh my.
Yes.
Well,
I
I
don't
ruined
know.
my friendship with two people.
There we go. When she's in studio, we're gonna play this again along with Kinky Fetish. Watch her walk out. Yeah.
But do you think it's gone?
I think we just are starting to analyze a lot more of everything that we're doing in this life, and Valentine's Day just doesn't hold up. I mean, when something's just told that you do this, and you realize there's Valentine's Day when you're a little kid, and you look forward to the cards and everything, but when you become an adult, you're like, do I still want to do this?
I know.
And I think a lot of adults are opting out.
Well, and I would have to say too, we're starting to recognize like some scarring, right? We can now mass communicate more than ever, and so all of us go, wait, I've been hurt by Valentine's Day. I'm single. Like this Valentine's Day is a bad reminder for me, and now we can tell everybody about it, and so we're all kind of joining on together saying that.
Check
The
out
other
the
thing,
big brain on
I
Ben.
was gonna say Ben's really big. The last thing else, well, it's our, this year. It's also the first anniversary of Parkland. Remember that did happen on Valentine's Day at
Way to
Marjorie's.
bum it out
I
with
just
7
wanna-
seconds to go,
excuse me,
Tori.
It's important for us
Can we
to
bring up
this
Ebola right before we
God.
leave? Thanks, guys.
Kinky fetish.
Thanks, y'all.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Double Jump. Today we are reviewing What Men Want, starring Taraji P. Henson. It's a movie based in Atlanta. Pretty much she can hear what men think, and it is just a crazy, hilarious adventure. So we're just gonna give the good, bad, and the ugly real quick. So just slide it over to Abby. What do you think?
Hey guys, so I liked this movie for the most part. I really liked the beginning and Taraji P. Henson's character because she is just a girl boss. Or we can just say a boss. It follows a lot of things that women have to deal with in the workplace all the time, just a little exaggerated. But towards the end of the movie, I did tune out a little bit, got a little slow, but you know, overall okay. What'd you think?
Any actors you like more than others?
Oh, okay. I cannot
she has
remember his
favorite.
name now, but Taraji's assistant, the guy from Silicon Valley,
He plays Big Head on Silicon Valley.
Yes.
It's an HBO show.
love him. So
Okay.
I think he was a little kind of secondary character that stole
I mean,
the show.
Pete Davidson was kind of funny too. But
But did
yeah,
they just put him in
this-
there because he's Pete Davidson?
I don't know. He was
I
good
wasn't
though.
sure. Yeah.
But yeah, this movie, star-studded cast, absolutely loved it. They had Richard Roundtree, Shaft. Tracy Morgan was hilarious. Taraji was great as well. Her assistant was funny. Yeah, just had a lot of really good characters, a lot of funny moments. It does get long. It is a long movie, but it is definitely worth watching. It's. I was laughing the whole time. I really enjoyed it. So.
You were also flirting with the people sitting behind us the whole time.
No. So what happened was the screener had a lot of older ladies in there, and they were whooping it up talking during the show, it really enhanced the experience. So, you know, instead of giving numbers for ratings, we recommend that you go see the movie in theaters, wait till Redbox, or completely pass on this movie. So the audience participation is why I really recommend you go see this in theaters. You will laugh from beginning to end. Really funny movie. It does get long, but it's funny.
And I will say, wait for Redbox. Great date night, stay in, order food. Watch this one.
All right. Well, that's it for Double Jump this time. We'll see you guys next time.
Welcome back to Double Jump, where we talk the latest in gaming, tech, and pop culture news. I'm Leo, and I'm here with Steph today to review Alita Battle Angel. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get into this one. Alita Battle Angel centers on Alita, a cyborg who needs to find her memories and wants to save the world.
Pretty big
Steph,
mission.
I'm gonna go to you first. Give me the good, the bad, and the ugly of this movie.
Okay, the good is definitely the character Alita herself. She's a badass warrior from planet aka Mars, and she finds herself in this new world which she has to rescue. She's incredible, she's fearless, I loved her. That's the good. The bad, the storyline could have been a little bit tighter.
Okay, it was a little bit all over the place.
A little
I can
bit
agree
all
with
over
that.
the place. The ugly, we don't know if there's a sequel to, and I want to see
I
a sequel
know.
to.
Oh my goodness, that little tease that we got. I really hope we get a sequel. The good. Oh my goodness, just how believable it felt. It didn't
Amazing.
feel very fantasy. About 5 minutes into the movie, I was like, oh, it's Alita. You know, I felt like I knew her for a long time, and the environment, Iron City, it felt so organic. I felt
That
like
was
I was
cool.
actually in the world, and the cast. Oh my goodness, Mahershala Ali as the villain. I would have loved a little bit more of him, but wow, was he great to be able to just swap personalities out of nowhere like that and become the actual main villain of the movie. And it was just, so good. This is new. I mean, brand spanking new.
I literally thought she was almost like a real human being when she touched her. There's a part at the start where she touches her face, and it's almost like you're looking at a human being that's just ridiculously cute and anime in front of you in real life.
Yeah. Oh, and this was one of the best anime adaptations of all time.
Yes.
Period. Now, I gotta ask you, would you recommend people see this in theaters, wait for Redbox, or not see it at all?
If you're gonna see this, if you like your anime, you've got to see it in the theater in 3D. Redbox is not gonna give it justice. You have to go see it in the box office.
Yes, and I'm gonna follow that up. You got to see this one in 3D, as high quality as you can, IMAX 3D if possible. But guys, we will see you next time on Double Jump.